Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Saturday, the 14th of September, 2024. Actually, a pretty refreshing day for the reason that today I focused solely on a lot of new games and gameplay. You know, this week's again been kind of a weird week with the MVC collection that came out. I played it all day on Thursday. Then yesterday, we had an interview with June the King, and then I played it for the rest of the day yesterday. So, it was like the schedule was kind of thrown into disarray. But today I finally did like a whole solid day of just playing new releases, and it felt great. It really did feel great to jump back into that. So let's talk about that. So on today's Level 1 podcast, it was a great one. Today, we hung out and talked about various different topics. Two very positive things, including merchandise may actually be returning sooner rather than later. In fact, without spoiling, samples have arrived from a merchandising company that wants to work with me. They have to be washed. You know, like that new t-shirt smell. You're like, ooh. But t-shirts have arrived from a merchandising company that actually wants to work with me. The first ever in many, many years. Because as you know, all those companies basically got harassed by my trolls, and they all went woke, and they didn't want to deal with someone who the trolls say, oh, he's a bad person because he said bad things 13 years ago. So I haven't had merch. And it's funny because now I have this big comeback. A lot more people are watching me and want to support and enjoy the content and been asking me, do you have merch? Well, I didn't, but I think I found a company. Tomorrow, we'll look at these. But anyway, so I announced that. I also announced that I have a guest lined up for my next interview, likely around the very end of September. All right. And then we did a whole segment about LTG's response to my response to his response to my response to his response. And it was a big mess because, once again, the guy's completely unprofessional, doesn't know how to make a video. So I'm trying to do it. It's just a huge, huge ordeal. Okay. But anyway, it was hilarious because we caught him out in a blatant lie. We made him look completely stupid. And essentially, we finally got the answer to why he won't collab. But if he had just said that like 17 times ago, like a year and a half ago, then it would have been a lot more clear. But anyway, I don't want to spoil. You can watch the podcast in its entirety, or I'm clipping a few things from that LTG segment that I'm going to put up live on the channel overnight that you can check out. Okay? Fair enough. Then we started with Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. Second time I'd played the game. First time was earlier in the week on Tuesday, and I really liked it. Played it for 3 hours. Very refreshing because it really feels like old school Gears of War and stuff like that. And man, we had a great time. What's awesome about today is that finally we got to see a new race of enemies. It wasn't just the I forget what they're called, the kind of xenomorph creatures. So we fought a lot of them, but then all of a sudden it changed, and there's a whole new group. It's like these interdimensional beings that are now we're fighting, which is really neat. I was like, oh, this is really cool. I'm glad that we have new enemies now. And it was a great stream. Now, FYI, I haven't uploaded that gameplay yet because I had promised you guys that if we continued the King streak through today, I would actually order food live, and then we'd have a feasting with the King. And I was true to my word. We did hit the goal today, and when we did, I went and I ordered food, and it was a Mediterranean platter that had tons of food. It had gyro, Slovaki, rice, hummus, pita, and a side salad. And I had a little of everything, and I also made a fool of myself because I dumped some of the dressing on the floor. I was like, oh, man, that sucks. I had to clean it up during this Feasting with Phil segment. But anyway, it was good. It was super good. And that video is over right now on DSP Reaction. You can watch it right now. It's live. Okay. I did upload the podcast already to this channel. I didn't upload any gameplay yet. So if you're looking around like, where's the gameplay from earlier? There's no Warhammer. I didn't have a chance because remember, I went late to do that. There wouldn't have been time to upload the gameplay. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to upload all of the gameplay from today, all back to back, plus highlight clips from the podcast. So all that is coming overnight. Okay. Tonight on the late stream, it was Astrobot. We finally got back to it for the first time in a week. Had a ton of fun. We did secret warp stages. We did very challenging stages to have the triangle symbol from PlayStation. Man, they're hard because there's no checkpoints in them. We did standard stages in World 2, and basically we finished all of World 2 except the boss. So we made great progress tonight. Great fun, new gameplay elements, great graphics, great soundtrack. The game was really, really good. All right, I really enjoyed it. Everyone had a great time. We had a great chill atmosphere. And ladies and gentlemen, it's official. The King streak continues. We are now at 9 straight King streak. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like it's continuing again, and this is excellent because it just goes to show the reason it ended wasn't because people don't like the content or got bored of me. It's because the game sucked. Black Myth Wukong. Sorry, it really did suck. It got so boring in Chapter 3, and the game fell off, and I'm glad that we quit it, and now we're playing better stuff, and people are having a better time. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Every single thing we did this week, the MVC Collection, Warhammer, Astrobot, WWE Champions, my podcast, literally every piece of content we did was more interesting than Black Myth Wukong and had more attention and more engagement and more support. People just don't like that game, and I'm in agreement. It kind of is a game that's overhyped because the first, 1 to 2 worlds are good, and then Chapter 3, it sucks. Anyway, so it was a great streaming day overall. Tomorrow will be great because it's React Day. For those who don't know, it means it's the day that we don't do any gameplay. But we're going to be doing a level 1 podcast where, again, I'm going to be showing off these shirts. If we have any new news or anything to talk about, we'll be doing that. And we'll see if there's any updates on anything. All right. And in addition to that, then we're going to jump over to DSP Reacts. And on DSP Reacts, it is DSP versus the Internet, my weekly Clips React show where the members submit clips, and it's a great variety show. In fact, I'm about to make the playlist for it, like, right now after I finish recording this and start uploading. So that's going to be really fun. And then tomorrow night, it's Retro React over on DSP Throwback, and it's more of the Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut, which is super fun. We did it last week, got through the first couple hours of the game. It was very fun to watch back my original experience with this game from 2013. One of the earliest direct capture playthroughs I'd ever done. I can't wait for more. That horror vibe is coming. Now that we're heading into autumn and cooler temperatures and the leaves are turning and the pumpkins are coming out and spice and everything, it's really cool to say, yes, let's start with horror content, right? And speaking of which, I didn't even get to mention this today. Earlier today, 10 a.m. on DSP Throwback, my channel, the Undead Nightmare playthrough from Red Dead Redemption, the original playthrough from 2010, that's co-op commentary with John Rambo, it began. It's remastered. It's uploaded. It's part 1 is really, really good. I watched it myself. I was riveted the whole time because, man, it's crazy and creepy and messed up. Check it out over on DSP Throwback. If you want to get into this Halloween vibe, now is the time. DSP Throwback is the channel for that because we got horror, man. We got double horror over there, okay? So thank you all. Great streaming day. The streak continues. Tomorrow we got fun stuff lined up, a great React day. I hope you'll join me for that. I wish you all the best. Have a good night. And stay safe. See you tomorrow for another one, another great one. On all 3 of my channels, okay? Thanks. Have a good night. Peace out, everybody.